Hello, I'm Veronica Dudo. A Nutley man is dead after a car accident on the New Jersey Turnpike. It happened in Fort Lee when the 34-year-old driver struck the back of a tractor trailer. A toddler who was also in the vehicle suffered non-life-threatening injuries. A settlement has been finalized to remove the partially constructed cell towers in Point Pleasant Beach. This comes after the approvals to get them built were not presented to the borough council and mayor. Officials say they should be removed by the end of October. 75 new U.S. citizens recently recited their oath of allegiance during a citizenship ceremony at Rowan College in Burlington County. Each went through the naturalization process, including a test of civics and U.S. history. After an online vote, the Jersey Diners were just named Minor League Baseball's Alternative Identity of the Year. The Somerset Patriots rebranded themselves as the Diners for 3 games this summer.
Hello and welcome to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Dina Delisa Gonzer in for Cara Falco.
And I'm Mike Favetta. Thanks for joining us. Dina, great to see you on this really pretty morning. Feels like fall outside with the cool air, plenty of nice sunshine ahead.
It was a beautiful walk into work, that's for sure.
Yeah, we've got some great weather ahead. We'll get to that part of the forecast in just a bit. But first, have to talk about the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. In fact, New Jersey has ties now as New Jersey Task Force 1 is engaged in search and rescue efforts in North Carolina after the devastation from the hurricane. The team is currently operating in some of the state's most severely impacted areas, contending with harsh weather and challenging landscapes. The state's elite rescue crew released a statement saying that they are facing strong winds, heavy rain, and rugged terrain, specifically in North Carolina's mountainous regions. Despite these difficulties, they have been conducting extensive area searches and performing water rescues in communities overwhelmed by flooding. Really sad situation there of how this storm, as powerful as it was, really impacted so many so far inland.
I know, for sure. And it seems like a lot of people didn't have that on their radar, that it was going to do as much damage as it has.
Right.
Thousands of port workers across the East Coast and here in New Jersey have gone on strike, demanding better wages and working conditions at critical U.S. ports. For those unfamiliar with supply chain logistics, this means a major slowdown in the flow of goods into the country. Some stores across our state are reporting that consumers are panic buying, similar to what we saw during the pandemic.
I hope it doesn't come to, people stocking up the 7 bales of toilet paper in their garages like during the pandemic. But I think at this point, we'll have to wait and see.
For sure. I mean, I may or may not know someone who got a pallet of toilet paper delivered to their house during that time.
So it might be round 2. Well, New Jersey's U.S. Senate candidates will face off this weekend in a live debate produced by ONNJ and our partners, the New Jersey Globe and Rider University.
Republican Curtis Bashaw and Democrat Andy King will answer questions from our panel Sunday night beginning at 8 p.m. The moderator is Laura Jones, host of New Jersey Politics. Laura joins us now on the New Jersey Morning Show. Good morning, Laura.
Hey there. Good to see you both.
It's great to have you in this morning. Now, Laura, this is a big debate. What is your role and what are you doing to prepare?
Yeah, it is a big debate. This is the first time that Andy Kim and Curtis Bashaw will be meeting, and this is the first debate that they have engaged in. So it is a really big deal. My role is the moderator. So that is to facilitate a fair and engaging discussion between the candidates. So it involves not only asking questions, but also making sure that each candidate has an equal opportunity to express their views. So in order to prepare, I start doing my research. I look deep into the candidates' platforms, current events, and other voter concerns in New Jersey. I'm coordinating with the panelists, and we are developing questions to address any issues, to also allow for that exchange of ideas. So again, my goal is to create an environment ultimately where voters get a clear insight into each candidate's stance and personality. That's my role, and to ensure that things stay on track and nobody goes off the rails and it doesn't spiral into a back and forth.
Now, Laura, tell us more about the panel who will be joining you in asking some questions.
Yeah, all right. So our panel is composed of journalists and political analysts from the New Jersey Globe and the Rebovich Institute for Rider University. So we have David Wildstein. He is the editor of the New Jersey Globe. Micah Rasmussen. He is the executive director for the Rebovich Institute for New Jersey Politics at Rider University. And Joey Fox, who is a congressional correspondent for the New Jersey Globe. So, each of us, we have a background, a history in New Jersey to bring perspective and expertise in any number of issues, state, local politics, economic issues, social issues. So hopefully this diversity and background and depth of bench will really enrich the discussions. And, our goal is to really cover a broad spectrum of topics relevant to New Jersey voters. So together we really want to challenge the candidates rather, thoughtfully. This isn't about ambushing. We want to challenge them thoughtfully to really allow them to showcase their vision for the state. So, and we've got a good synergy with the panel. We've been doing some other debates for the primary, and we're excited and really working hard to cover as many topics as possible. It's a 90-minute debate, so hopefully we'll be able to cover a lot of ground.
Now, Laura, you stated that you have done your research on the candidates and you've also interviewed both candidates. Can you give us some background on who they are?
Oh, absolutely. So you have Curtis Bashaw. He's a Republican businessman. He built a career in business public service. He has the hotel down in Cape May. He talks a lot about economic growth, fiscal responsibility, strong connection to New Jersey's community. He advocates for policies he believes are going to foster job creation and promote infrastructure. On the other hand, you have Democrat Andy Kim. He has experience in Congress, a congressional representative. He's focused on issues like healthcare, environmental protection, social equity. His background, though, is very fascinating. He's a former national security advisor, so that adds a lot of depth to his understanding from both domestic and international issues. Andy Kim worked at the U.S. State Department, served in Afghanistan as a civilian advisor to both General Dave Petraeus and John Allen before working as a national security advisor under President Barack Obama. So he was in the war room. He's got a lot of experience versus Curtis Bashaw, who has that business experience. Curtis Bashaw also worked under Democrat Jim McGreevey. So he has a track record and that background of working across the aisle. So you've got both candidates bringing very distinct perspectives shaped by their experiences. Should be a very compelling watch for the voters and viewers.
And Laura, what makes this year's U.S. Senate race significant?
Yeah, so this is the seat that was held by former U.S. Senator Bob Menendez. So it's an open seat. Now in New Jersey, we're typically a blue state, but that isn't even so much it. It's the way that voters tend to do. The power of incumbency is huge. So whoever wins this, very likely that they could be in this for many, many years. Andy Kim, Curtis Bashaw, they're not particularly old. So whoever wins this race, they could be in that seat for a very, very long time. And then bigger picture, these are people who represent we the people. So the power of incumbency is huge. Their job is to advocate for us and to get that money, that DC money to come back for New Jersey. The Senate is very, very closely divided. But ultimately, these are the people who are representing us here in New Jersey. And that alone is huge. People don't know these names as much. Andy Kim, South Jersey Congressman, people know him. Curtis Bashaw, businessman. So this will be interesting because it's the first time a lot of voters are really going to start paying attention and honing in. So much of the attention is at the presidential level, but the implications here in New Jersey, that Senate seat and down to the congressional seats, they aren't always competitive. Couple of races are competitive, but moving forward into the future, when you have that seat, a lot of times you stay in that seat, which we could probably get into a whole discussion over term limits, but I'll just leave that one there. that one there.
Well, it sounds like this is a very important election, and 'tis the season for debates, it seems. And sometimes when you're watching them, you see they get a little bit heated. I mean, to be honest, that makes me a little nervous, squirm in my seat there. And I'm wondering, how will you handle candidates who don't stick to the rules?
Yeah, well, debates, they can get intense, especially when the candidates are passionate about their views. So my approach is going to be to maintain control of the conversation while, ensuring they have respects amongst the participants. If they stray upon the rules, we have rules. You have 90 seconds to respond. Each candidate gets a certain amount of time to respond to the questions. I've got a bell. Don't have my bell right here next to me. Should have thought to bring that on. I can ring the bell to keep them on topic. Hopefully, though, they understand the rules. They've agreed upon the rules. And if they become overly combative, I'm going to have to intervene calmly but assertively and remind them of the rules that we set forth and they agreed upon. But again, it's important. I'm not going to be somebody who's going to cut them off mid-sentence because, ooh, you're right at 90 seconds, you're done. We want to make sure there is a constructive dialogue that can flourish without descending into chaos. So we're going to make sure everybody has equal time, encourage them to address each other's points directly. And another role that I have is if they decide to go off on another tangent, I can step in and say, well, you haven't answered the question. Answer the question. So I have a little bit of leeway, and my bell to ring if all else fails. Ultimately, the real goal is we want to provide viewers with a clear understanding of who the candidates are, what their positions are, and maintain civility throughout the discussion, which I feel very encouraged that these two men will do just that.
Yeah, I think we'll be excited to see it. You can watch the U.S. Senate debate live at 8 p.m. Sunday right here on New Jersey. You can watch on our Roku channel or on the smart TV, any smart TV on the News On app. You can also watch the debate on your phone at ONNJ.com. Laura Jones, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh,
great to see you. Dina, we've got a big election season ahead, so looking forward to all these debates.
Yeah, for sure. And it's super important to vote not only on your presidential election, but at a local level, a state level, all across the board. And it sounds like doing the debate is almost like corralling a kindergarten classroom.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like. Moving on, up next, New Jersey's Secretary of Higher Education joins us to talk about a new campaign aimed at raising awareness about financial aid and state support for students.
But first, the kids head off to school on this morning. We've got a beautiful weather forecast ahead. Let's get a check of the weather. So a cool and breezy fall morning here across New Jersey as temperatures statewide hold in the 60s. And there's a little touch of that morning dew, maybe a little bit of wetness and dampness around from last night. A few showers came through, but ultimately we'll start off our day feeling quite cool. Now, with the cloud picture clearing out, we had some clouds overnight with those showers. I think we'll break out into more sunshine throughout the day today, and it will look rather pleasant as the afternoon progresses. Still keeping an eye on the tropics because the tropics are heating up. And a primary reason for that is all that Saharan dust, or that area in orange, has dissipated over the last few weeks. That's why the Atlantic basin has become more active. So you see a few storms here. One is Kirk. That's right in the center of the screen. That's a hurricane, but it stays out to sea. And then Leslie following right behind that. And then you can even see some disturbed weather coming off the coast of Africa, to be named there. But there's another system that everyone has been watching over in the Gulf of Mexico. And earlier this week, meteorologists at the National Hurricane Center thought it had the potential of turning into another system. Those chances have lowered. That's some great news, as the conditions are now unfavorable, going from that orange, or the medium chance of favorability for development, down to the low category. So improvement there, and we should see some general showers along the Gulf Coast. No developed tropical system, as even the futurecast through Sunday into Monday just kind of keeps it offshore, and any development little to none. So that's some good news there. Now, our weather here back home in New Jersey looks very fall-like, warm and dry this weekend. Lots of sunshine, even could reach 80 in some spots by Saturday, and then Sunday cools off a little bit back down into the 70s. We've got a dry forecast ahead for next week, and that autumn chill coming in. We'll give you those details coming up with another peek of the weather forecast. That's when On New Jersey continues after this.
Hey, hey, hey! Nothing has ever been handed to me. I've had to work for it. On the field. And off the field. Kane worked with me. Guided me. Helped me climb higher. To get where I belong. To change my life.
Hey, welcome to the team.
Cougars climb higher. Kane University.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Dina DeLisa with Mike Favetta. New Jersey's own Princeton University proudly secured the 6th position for its picturesque grounds, highlighted by its impressive architecture and breathtaking scenery. Yale University topped the list, followed closely by Harvard, recognized for their exceptional campus beauty.
There's a lot of beautiful campuses here in New Jersey, so glad to see that some made the list.
Yes, for sure. I went to Fairleigh Dickinson, and I thought that was one of the prettiest ones I had visited. So yeah, we're very lucky here.
I'm a Kane alum, so right there in Union, New Jersey,
there you go.
Some beautiful, beautiful features to that campus. As I feel like it's always under development, but for the better. Always for the better and for the students.
I love that. Always moving forward. There is a new initiative aimed at empowering New Jersey residents to pursue affordable and accessible degrees right here in the Garden State. Take a look at the ad.
You want to go to college, finish college, or jumpstart your career? Who says in order to go places, you need to travel 1 million miles to do it? New Jersey has some of the best higher education opportunities in the country, with a wide variety of colleges and degrees to help you get where you want to go. And some of the best financial aid in the nation, offering free tuition for qualifying students. New Jersey students are going far without going so far. Learn more at collegeforyou.nj.gov. Your degree is closer than you think.
This is a year-long statewide campaign to raise awareness about the financial aid, state support, and opportunities available to prospective students of all ages. Joining us now is New Jersey's Secretary of Higher Education, Brian Bridges. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dina. Thank you for having me.
So can you tell us about this new campaign and what has inspired its launch?
Well, we're really excited about this campaign, and the goal of it is to really raise the awareness about the affordability, accessibility, and the value of earning a college degree in New Jersey. Under Governor Murphy's leadership, for instance, New Jersey has made historic investments in financial aid and support programs to make college more affordable and accessible. Programs like the Community College Opportunity Grant, the Garden State Guarantee, investments in tuition aid grants, as well as investments in the Educational Opportunity Fund and more. The problem is, though, that many residents in the state still don't know about all the programs that's available and the support that's available to them since the last time they may have considered college. So we need this program to help make people aware of the incredible investments New Jersey has provided for their ability to go to college.
And Brian, that's great that you lay it all out there on the website. We're looking at a shot of it right now, collegeforyou.nj.gov. It helps residents explore their higher education options in the state. So what does this website accomplish? Where does one go if they're interested in this information on the site?
Well, the website is a great one-stop resource to help residents find all the information that they need to get started exploring their options, from helpful information about how to navigate the financial aid application process, filling out the FAFSA, for instance, as well as it provides a map of eligible colleges in the state, as well as the degree programs that's available to them. So it's a wealth of opportunity, a wealth of information that residents definitely should tap into. collegeforyou.nj.gov. I would send every potential family and college student to that website to check it out.
We are really lucky. New Jersey is known for having a generous financial aid package and programs offered to their students. Can you explain some of the key initiatives that make college more affordable for New Jerseyans?
Yes, Dina. New Jersey offers some of the most generous financial aid in the country. In fact, over the last several years, New Jersey's typically been top 3, and in some years we've been number 1 in the amount of aid awarded per student. For example, eligible students from households with incomes up to $100,000 can attend community college tuition free or at a significantly reduced cost through the Community College Opportunity Program, through the Community College Opportunity Grant. Similarly, the Garden State Guarantee provides a tuition-free pathway or a discounted pathway for students attending our public four-year institutions in their last 2 years. New Jersey's also expanded the tuition aid grant program as well as other support. So for students and their families who might think that they can't afford to go to college, there are likely options available for them. They simply need to go to collegeforyou.nj.gov to find out.
Now, Brian, mental health and holistic student services supports have become increasingly important. What role do these services play in the campaign, and how are they being integrated into New Jersey's higher education institutions?
Well, we're providing a wealth of support to help students navigate the mental health challenges that they may have experienced, especially after COVID. One of the big programs has been our partnership with You Will, which is designed to provide 24/7, 365 online teletherapy availability and support for college students. And we've had great success with that program. We've got over 12,000 students signed up for the platform. We've had almost 50,000 sessions in less than a year and a half. So we are providing that support to help. Once we get the students to the campus, we're also providing the support to help them navigate the campus as well. That's simply one support to help them address their mental health. But we've also got investments in a whole host of other programs, from basic needs to helping students re-enroll after stopping out for years. So the state and the institutions where the students attend really cares for these students to bring them to campus and help them navigate their college pathway.
Now, we've talked about how that people might not know that these services are available. And I'm just wondering how particularly regarding immigration status or income levels, are there any new avenues that have been rolled out in the past couple of years in regards to financial aid for these populations?
Well, thank you for that question, Dina. There have been, this campaign is targeting a broad swath of the population of New Jersey, from traditional high school graduates to adults who might not have ever considered going to college, to those who might have started and stopped out, as well as, and we're targeting under resource students, particularly those who might be immigrants who may have not had a pathway to college previously. Those students simply need to go to the website, collegeforyou.nj.gov, and they can find a pathway to fill out the alternative application to financial aid. So more than anything else, we want to send a message to residents of New Jersey, regardless of life circumstance, that there is a pathway for them to go to and through college.
And Brian, this campaign features real New Jersey students. How important was it to highlight their stories?
Yes, we were it was incredibly important to highlight students whose experiences were real, that we could actually not have actors, but that students could see themselves, point to their own experiences. Actually, we filmed these on campuses. We didn't try to make the campuses easily identifiable, but we actually filmed these spots on New Jersey campuses with real students, because the authenticity is something that Jersey students and Jersey residents are looking for. So this is a campaign about the students, by the students, for future students of New Jersey colleges and universities.
Mr. Brian Bridges, thank you so much for joining us this morning and explaining this, no doubt, extremely important resource that is open to New Jersey residents.
Thank you again, Mike and Dina, for having me, and college4u.nj.gov. Send people to that website.
We will. Thank you so much. Dina, it's so important what we mentioned about the mental health and, supporting students because, especially after COVID, when everyone was so isolated, students signed up for the opportunity to be part of a class, to be in a classroom and really be a part of that community, and to be isolated and to be so, separated really made it challenging. So it's good to see that there's support on that
It
front.
is, and it's so important to be amongst people, just to teach you about networking and just to be able to learn from each other. So hopefully this resource encourages more people to look into it and get themselves on the path towards school.
And we hope they do.
Yes. And switching gears, up next, some easy new cocktail ideas for the fall with an award-winning mixologist.
And we've got that fall weather on tap. Let's get a check of the weather this morning. A few clouds to start our day, but predominantly sunny across the Northeast going forward, and that will be the case into this afternoon. Nice and dry and balmy with temperatures warming. Now, there are limited rain chances over the next few days. One may happen as early as tomorrow night into Saturday morning. That's that little 10% chance there, and I'll show you that here on the Futurecast. With the clouds clearing out for a beautiful afternoon, temperatures warm into the 70s across New Jersey. We'll be back up near 80 down across the capital region there toward Trenton and points south. Now, with a wind shift, we're back to clouds to start off the day tomorrow, and there might even be a few sprinkles that come in throughout the afternoon. So it's sunny to start on Friday, cloudy finish, maybe a few sprinkles going into early Saturday morning. But Saturday is not a wash. Those early morning clouds clear out. If you sleep in, you're back to sunshine by the afternoon, and the dry weather will feel fantastic. High temperatures today, we climb into the 70s. A little bit warmer as we head into tomorrow, with temperatures approaching 80 down toward Trenton and even by Mount Holly and Medford. And then I think on Saturday, places will get to 80 degrees. You see them here teetering even in the northeastern corner of the state by Hackensack and Newark, up around 78 degrees. Slightly cooler with drier weather for Sunday with a very pleasant feel. And then the humidity really tanks. I mean, it drops, making it feel very fall-like and balmy, with temperatures holding in the 70s for most of next week, at least for the afternoons. Air quality looks great today. Just a few extra of the maybe the moderate level over there toward the northwestern corner of the state. But beyond that, we should be fine going forward. And there's that drop in humidity and temperatures for Sunday, climbing into the upper 70s until Saturday before sunshine returns Saturday afternoon, keeping us pretty going into Sunday. We'll take a check of the extended forecast coming up when the New Jersey Morning Show continues after this. Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Mike Favetta, along with Dina Delisa Gonzar, in for Cara Falco. Dina, are you getting bored with pumpkin spice drinks? I mean, it's that season, right? You have pumpkin spices everywhere.
This is true. I don't know if I can say bored, but I mean, 'tis the season, right?
It is exciting for some, I know. But to change it up just a bit, Dunkin' is scaring up a few new items for October. Starting October 16th, you can get a potion macchiato, which is a purple marshmallow macchiato. If you're hungry, a spider specialty donut, which is purple frosting and a glazed topping with a glazed chocolate munchkin. And if you can't decide, there's always the Halloween Munchkins basket, which has something for everyone. That's exciting there. Look at those. They're very creative there. Little spider on top of that donut.
I have to say, I need that bucket.
And the bucket, yeah.
I do.
Bucket of sugar right there. If you're looking for something comfortable to wear, there's also the Dunkin' tracksuits.
Ooh.
And the kids' tracksuit. Wow. Repping Boston there. Look at that. That's
what
exciting.
are the chances that I could get my family to wear this?
I mean, that's a Christmas card in the making.
Yes.
The Dunk Kings costume set for those who want to go full on Duncan royalty. Oh, look at that guy. Very, 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 well, I don't know what, but if you want to go without breaking a sweat, if your house needs some sprucing up, Duncan's 6-foot inflatable spider donut is available as well. Well, that's something interesting.
I need that donut for the front of my house. Right when we wrap the show, I'm getting online. I'm buying the tracksuit. I'm buying the little blow up, and I'm stopping for my Munchkin bucket. It's over. It's over.
That's really you can go all in
Yes.
on the donut. Well, it is officially fall, as we've been saying, so get ready for some great recipes to get you in a cozy autumn mood. Here to give us some easy new cocktail recipes for colder weather is Grupo Montenegro's award-winning mixologist, Tad Carducci. Tad, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good morning.
Well,
Fall is in the air.
Oh, it is. It is. And we're excited about these cocktails. What are you making for us today?
Well, I'm going to make you 2 cocktails. Great, very simple fall cocktails, both made with Amaro Montenegro. For those who aren't familiar with Montenegro, it's iconically Italian. It's a bittersweet herbal liqueur with spice flavors and orange and all kinds of things, traditionally drunk after a meal to help digestion. But as we know here in cocktail bars in the U.S., it's a phenomenal cocktail ingredient. You can kind of drop it into almost anything, and all those flavors pick things up. So 2 different but very, very simple cocktails that I'm going to make. Should I jump right in?
Yeah, go ahead. And tell us, while you're talking
perfect.
about it, why are these cocktails perfect for fall?
Well, when we think about fall cocktails, I think we start to think richer sort of flavors, more aged spirits, kind of darker, richer. We think of a lot of spice, a lot of fall fruits too. And both of these cocktails are going to exhibit some of those qualities. Also, Montenegro, like I said, it's spices and it's orange and it's all kinds of wonderful things that we think about as very sort of warming ingredients. And local flavor, incorporating local ingredients that we have in abundance in New Jersey at this time of year, including apple cider. So the first drink that I'm going to do is called the Monte the Monte Orchard Mule. I've added a couple of ounces of Amaro Montenegro into a glass. I'm going to add a couple of ounces of local apple cider, also right into the glass. This one is best served kind of on crushed ice if possible. If it's not possible, then any old ice will do. And we don't need a shaker. We don't need a mixing glass for this. It can be built right in the glass that you intend to serve it in, whether that's a mule mug or kind of a cool glass. I actually picked this up at Target, and I think it's got a kind of cool and fall-like. Mm-hmm. So Amaro Montenegro, apple cider, squeeze of fresh lime juice just to give it some kick and a little balance and acidity. Really just a half of a lime. And then ginger beer. Who doesn't love ginger beer? Luckily, we can now find it kind of everywhere, whereas it used to be a little more difficult to find. Kind of the spicier, the better. And just a quick stir. And then to keep it in the fall vein, apples from my local orchard right down the street from my house.
Oh, I love it.
And that's it.
Tad, this looks delicious. This looks great. And I love how you're talking about using local ingredients. Can you give us a little bit more information on what inspired you while creating these recipes?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Moscow Mule, the inspiration for this is such a simple, delicious, refreshing, balanced, fun drink. And it's a great platform for all different kind of creativity. With Amaro Montenegro and ginger beer as a mule, you can have so much fun, whether it's summer, winter, or fall. Fall happens to work especially well because of the flavors. But it's a great drink if somebody didn't want to drink just Montenegro in their mule, splitting this up with dark rum or brandy or something flavored that they like, to bring in more of that kind of seasonal thing. But again, simplicity is also the rule here. I like to stick to classics. I've gotten old, and I should say I've gotten wise. And I have decided that I don't go for 12 different ingredients anymore. The simpler, the better. So
That sounds
that's
good.
why
So Tad, what are you
that's-
making there on this next drink?
Okay. This one we call the Monty Manhattan. Everybody understands what a Manhattan is, combination of whiskey and vermouth and some bitters. Here, instead of vermouth, we're using Amaro Montenegro. Amaro Montenegro has a lot of the same flavors that vermouth has, but also has a little sweetness, also has just a little tiny bit more kick. So it works very, very well as a substitute for vermouth in a whole range of different cocktails. What I did was I used some bourbon and Amaro Montenegro in equal parts. So this is basically a 50-50 drink. Added a couple of dashes of bitters. In this case, I used orange bitters, but Angostura bitters or any kind of bitters, if somebody makes bitters at home, works very well. Put those into a mixing glass. Fill the mixing glass with ice, and I'm just going to stir it until it's chilled and it's cold and it's got the right level of dilution. Dilution is always very important for cocktails, especially ones that are just spirit, like this one.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah, good. What's cool about this drink? It's a Manhattan. It's warm. It's sexy. It's luxurious. It's kind of perfect for sitting in front of the fire. Moving from early fall, which we're in now, all the way through to the holidays and beyond. It's really a very, very inviting drink. But Montenegro, I will give people a secret. Montenegro is like secret sauce. It's like your favorite condiment that you keep in your pantry. It works with every spirit category that exists. I know this because myself and my liver have experimented very heavily, let's say, to try to find a spirit that it doesn't work with. And to date, I have not found one. So whether it is dark rum or Scotch whiskey or your favorite flavored vodka or gins, Montenegro, the flavors that are in Montenegro really, really complement anything very well. And it's also, this is a great model. We call it a 50-50. To just think about one ice cube in a glass, Amaro Montenegro, your favorite spirit, stir it up and drop it in.
I love
Finally,
it.
a little pretty orange twist.
Gotta make it pretty.
Finish this one off.
You gotta finish with
And
that
I'll take
garnish.
at 9:40 in the morning.
Well, I mean, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So let us know, where can we find these recipes and more information?
Well, Amaro Montenegro US on Instagram. You can follow us for all kinds of tips and tricks and see what kind of nonsense and trouble we're getting into. And then AmaroMontenegro.com for all kinds of recipes to find where to buy Montenegro as well.
Well, Tad, thank you so much for joining us this morning and getting us excited for a fall-themed happy hour later on.
Well, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
That was exciting. Got to go try some now.
Yeah, for sure. Now I know what to do with some of that apple cider I'm getting weekend to weekend.
Right, some fall flavors, especially with some cool days ahead. Well, in other news, Hackensack Meridian Ocean University's Medical Center is celebrating 40 years of serving the Garden State.
They opened in 1984 and have tripled the number of beds in the past 40 years. Joining us now is Frank Sitara, president of Hackensack Meridian Ocean University Medical Center in Brick. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, could you give us a little history of the Ocean University Medical Center and share what the facility is known for?
Absolutely. So as you mentioned, Ocean University Medical Center opened up as Brick Hospital July 4th, 1984. So we are celebrating our 40-year birthday this year. And if we want to talk about the history of the hospital, we have to talk about Point Pleasant Hospital, which was in existence for a while. And Point Pleasant Hospital was landlocked. There was beautiful water views, but the growth was really limited there, which is why the decision was made to build, at the time, Brick Hospital in 1984. So the hospital was built in 1984, and over 20 years, Point Pleasant Hospital started sunsetting a little bit. At the same time, Brick Hospital started to grow. And I can say over the past 10 years, we are now Ocean University Medical Center. Originally opened up in 1984 with 120 beds. We are now at 357 beds, which includes our JRI inpatient acute rehab center. Some highlighted service, as I mentioned, the past 10 years, tremendous growth here at Ocean University Medical Center. We've built a new ED, expanded the ED here. We created an oncology care center. We have most recently built a state-of-the-art heart and vascular center, which opened up last year. A lot of investment in technology, in 2 Da Vinci robots. We also just purchased a spine robot this year. So it's a new added service here as well. We have a full complement of outpatient services, including a great imaging program, lab services, both inpatient and outpatient rehab, oncology infusion, radiation. We have 2,500 team members supporting the hospital, including the rehab center that we have JRI right next door to us. So a lot of stuff going on here at Ocean University Medical Center.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So Ocean University Medical Center is part of Hackensack Meridian Health. We have a lot of people familiar with that name, which covers a majority of the state of New Jersey. What is the benefit to patients and the community of being part of such a large health or care organization?
That's a great question. So, Hackensack Meridian Health spans across Bergen County to as far south as Southern Ocean County. So we have hospitals and care centers in between all of those points, separated into 3 different regions: North, Central, and South. And Ocean University Medical Center is part of the South region. But each region has their own academic medical center, which serves as a hub for more of the specialized care. So despite, New Jersey being surrounded by a lot of specialty services in New York and Philadelphia, we can provide a continuity of care within Hackensack Meridian Health, so that services and patients can stay closer to home with well-trained physicians. So depending on the need, we can access any one of the 18 hospitals that we have in our network in the state.
Now, can you tell us a little bit more about the university part of your name and why it's part of the hospital's name?
Yeah, so we had a name change in 2021 to reflect university. So prior to that, we were Ocean Medical Center, now Ocean University Medical Center, which reflects our teaching status. So in 2018, the hospital started a residency program, started with 20 residents. We're now up to 122 residents across 7 different specialties. So we want to be involved in the training of the next generation of providers and caregivers. So, being able to offer residents from all over the country an opportunity to work in diverse communities, as well as different socioeconomic statuses, it's really important to that training. So, we were able to provide residents a space here at Ocean University Medical Center. And it's also complementary to the opening of the Hackensack School of Medicine. So we started a School of Medicine in 2018, and we're an option for the medical school graduates that want to continue training here in New Jersey.
And you briefly touched on your service area before, what parts of New Jersey you serve, but that reach actually extends beyond thanks to the Hackensack Meridian Health Air Medical Program. Tell us more about that program.
Yeah, so we were able to build a helipad right here at Ocean University Medical Center for the Air 2 Med helicopter. We know, a 10-minute drive can easily turn into a 40-minute drive or a 50-minute drive anywhere in New Jersey or surrounding area. So it's really crucial to have a centrally located home base for the helicopter if the need arises. So we can provide essential transport and access to appropriate levels of care across the region, throughout the state, and even out of state. The helicopter itself, the Air 2 Med, has advanced technology and really sophisticated. It's really an ICU in the air, and you really don't find that a lot. The crew is also very unique. It has a flight nurse, flight paramedics, pilots, and dedicated mechanics working on that helicopter. And it's also the first New Jersey-based helicopter to carry whole blood for immediate transfusion. So, we see it being used all the time, whether it's flying patients out of here to more immediate care or attending to some emergency on the Garden State Parkway and, needing for patients needing transport. It's really a great resource for the community in New Jersey.
That is truly an amazing service. So how do people learn more about Ocean University Medical Center?
So certainly hackensackmeridian.org website there. We also have a community day that we have coming up this Saturday, October 5th, to celebrate our 40th anniversary. It's going to be Saturday, October 5th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on site on campus at 425 Jack Martin Boulevard. We're going to have, some great display of our services. We'll have a tour of the helicopter if anybody wants to see that. Da Vinci robot is also going to be on site, available for patients if they want to take a test drive of the robot. We're going to have some health screenings going on, food trucks, a lot of fun inflatables for kids. So it's really going to be a fun day, and a car cruise. So some classic cars will be here as well. So it's a great way for us to open up the campus to the community, show them what we have here to offer.
Well, Frank Satara, thank you so much for joining us here on the New Jersey Morning Show.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you very much.
A lot of advanced tech there. That's impressive.
That was quite some list that he gave us. And I think the helicopter is like the coolest thing.
It's the cherry on top, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, coming up, we speak with New Jersey advocates for the John Ritter Foundation.
But first, we take a look at the weather forecast here across New Jersey. On this beautiful morning, we have temperatures that are climbing through the 70s, but only make it to about 73 or 74 degrees at the warmest. More sunshine later today will help us reach that goal there towards central New Jersey, likely touching the low 70s along the shoreline from Point Pleasant down toward Long Beach and even over in Toms River. And then a little further inland, back by Trenton and Fort Dix, over by Mount Holly, temperatures should climb into the mid 70s today. With a little bit of a breeze coming in from the south, cooler along the shore there from Avalon and Cape May, low 70s to mid 70s for you, and a little bit warmer inland. But with all of these clouds that are around from this morning, we eventually break out into sunshine through this afternoon, only to return to more clouds on Friday. With the Friday cloud cover coming in, it'll look rather gray. Temperatures stay warm, so there'll actually be a sort of a muggy feel to the air, and then a few showers come in late at night, Friday night into Saturday morning. Good news is they don't last long because they wrap up just after daybreak. Sunshine returns with drier weather for Saturday afternoon, and we stay dry and pleasant going into our Sunday. With Friday's weather, you can see there, it's all that front pushing on through, bringing in the clear, crisp weather for the weekend. Great weather to do some fall activities. There should not be any mud patches in the apple orchards or the pumpkin fields. So some good news if you want to get in and enjoy some of those fall festivities this weekend, because the next shot of a light shower isn't until Monday. And even when that rolls through, I think we stay dry for the majority of next week. So that prolonged dry period will feel very pleasant going forward. The Futurecast shows it pretty nicely with our front approaching from the west, helping to clear things out, those overnight showers, Friday night into Saturday morning. We turn clear and stay that way going throughout the weekend until that next batch of light rain comes in Sunday night into Monday morning, and that all clears out for Monday afternoon. Notice the dew points, or how much humidity is in the air. They stay rather high in the 50s and 60s, but then drop off into the 40s. That dry weather comes in for Sunday and makes it feel very pleasant with a very dry feel going into the next week. And that's the case in the next 7 days. You can see here holding in the 50s and 60s, and then they plummet right down to Tuesday and Wednesday, very dry by the end of next week. So pretty weather ahead. It continues our drought, however. We're still in that moderate drought down towards southern sections of Ocean County, as well as Burlington and Atlantic County, but I think that will turn a little bit better as we head into the next few days. Also see that rain deficit hasn't really improved. We'll take a check of the 7-day forecast coming up as the New Jersey Morning Show continues after this.
Nothing has ever been handed to me. I've had to work for it. On the field. And off the field. Kane worked with me. Guided me. Helped me climb higher. To get where I belong. To change my life.
Hey, welcome to the team.
Cougars climb higher. Kane University.
Welcome back to the New Jersey Morning Show. I'm Mike Favetta, along with Dean's Lisa Gonzar, in for Cara Falco. In 2003, beloved actor John Ritter was taken suddenly due to an acute thoracic aortic dissection.
Weeks after his death, his wife and fellow actor Amy Yazbek founded the John Ritter Foundation for Aortic Health, the focus to prevent unnecessary suffering caused by aortic dissection. Amy joins us now with the New Jersey aorta advocate, Thomas Hammond. Welcome to the show, Amy and Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
It's great to have you both. So for those who may not know, can you explain what happened to John and why the John Ritter Foundation was established?
So in 2003, while John was working on 8 Simple Rules, in the series, he started having very severe chest pains and nausea, and he was taken to an emergency room. And in that emergency room, they just began treatment for a heart attack before ruling out other things. And one of the things that they should have ruled out, or it would have been ruled in, is a thoracic aortic dissection, which also presents as chest pain, but it is not your heart, and it's not a block, which is what a heart attack is. It's actually a tear in the aorta, which is the largest artery in the human body. It comes up from your heart and goes down like this. It's like the kind of the size of a garden hose, and it's made up of layers. And if blood gets somehow into the layers instead of going where it's supposed to go, then the blood does not get delivered to your brain and your vital organs. And that's called an aortic dissection. The thoracic part just means it's this part of your aorta, because your aorta does go up like this and all the way down almost to your groin. But the thoracic part is here. That's the most dangerous part, I would say, that to have some kind of anomaly that makes it weak, because it's all the blood that's being pumped from your heart can kind of get diverted. It's very scary, but when you know that it's something that might happen, you can have it fixed. My brother-in-law did, because it's very often genetic. So John's brother actually kind of saw it coming, because there's something called an aneurysm, which is a widening of a part of the aorta, like a ballooning part, that can indicate most times that an aortic dissection is going to happen. So if you see that start to happen through imaging, you can fix it.
Amy, thank you so much for that explanation and for giving us a clearer picture. Thomas, can you explain more about being a New Jersey aorta advocate?
It's been one of the best opportunities I've had in my life. You know, I grew up in Bergen County. I was a volunteer fireman there for several years, and actually one of the guys in my company passed away from a dissection at about the same age that I am now. And, you know, I found out about my own aneurysm in 2002, which kind of forced me to have to leave government service and, you know, focus on different things. And, you know, when I found the Ritter Foundation, you know, I knew that was a group of people that I wanted to be involved with and find out how I could, you know, be of some assistance and service in another way. So
much assistance and service, Thomas. He's wonderful. He really gets it. He's about to get fixed. That sounds like you're going to the vet. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. 3 weeks, I'm going to have my surgery to, you know, repair my aortic root and, you know, ascending aorta. So hopefully I can get back to more of a normal life after that.
Now, on that note, you know, medical technology has advanced so much in the last 21 years. What does the prevention look like? How can we prevent aortic dissection for ourselves and loved ones?
I think, well, what Thomas is doing, because his was found, what is the term for it? Incidentally?
Incidentally,
like
yeah. I was having a CT.
Yeah, like if you're having imaging for something else, there's a chance you could pick it up. But if you have someone in your family, a first-degree relative, that has had an thoracic aortic aneurysm or a dissection, you are highly at risk for it. So you should definitely, and even if there's somebody in your family, like I think a lot of us do have, that have passed away from something and it's unidentified, unexpected. Sometimes it goes into the old, we've all heard so-and-so in the family died of a massive heart attack. Well, if they're not autopsied or they weren't under a doctor's care, you don't know that that's what it was. John's and his brother Tom, who I stress had an aneurysm in the exact same place that John's was when his dissected, and Tom's was his dissection was prevented. Their dad was a cowboy singer named Tex Ritter, and Tex in his early 60s kind of grabbed his chest and fell over, died, and it was put into that cardiac category. And so nobody ever knew that it was, and now we are almost 100% sure that it was an aortic dissection. So family history is very important. Bring it up with your doctor. Even if you in your doctor's appointment mentions aortic dissection and your doctor clears you for whatever reason, you've just put that in their head, so they may be more apt to pick it up in the next person. We're just trying to get it out there, right?
And speaking of getting it out there, how is the foundation working to bring more awareness to this condition, Amy?
We make Thomas do so many things. No, just kidding.
Put him to work.
Because he's great. And but what happens is, like, once this happens in someone's family, once your family is affected by aortic dissection, it's almost, at some point, you're like, wow, either, like in our family, it was a sad event that helped us know. In other families, it can be just kind of like an incidental finding, but families are driving this. Of course, we have a incredible bench, speaking of baseball, I don't want to say go Dodgers, but you know what I'm saying, of professionals and doctors from all over the world that are working on this, because it's something that has kind of gone unsung for many years. But now that there's so many ways to pick it up, and there's so much, look, awareness begets awareness. There used to be an old shampoo commercial. Anybody old on this call? Tell someone, and she told someone, and she told someone, and it would just like divide like this, and that's how it goes. That was the old explanation of virality, or however you say something going viral. Fertility? That's not it. Thomas, help me. Take me out.
We'll go viral.
Hackensack sounds great. They've got a great hospital. I love the air flight because that happens. Mm-hmm. I mean, EMS, everybody needs to have their consciousness kind of raised about this. And when you do and you catch it, you've saved a whole family, because then there's genetic testing, there's everything involved.
Well, it sounds incredible. Love the organization. Where can we learn more information about the organization?
John Ritter Foundation. I'm pointing to you, Thomas. .org. John Ritter Foundation.
.org.
Okay, he completes me.
All right, Amy Yazbek and Thomas Hammond, thank you so much for joining us here on the New Jersey Morning Show. We appreciate your time and love the organization.
Thanks, guys.
That was a great way to just to honor and make aware about certain illnesses that could be genetic, could be passed down, and how to catch them early.
For sure. And you unfortunately hear so often about heart attacks and the like, and to know that you can catch this a little bit earlier if you ask about it is huge. It
is. All right, next up,
are we doing some weather with you, Mike, or what? Are you going to tell me what's going on for the weekend?
Let's do some weather. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. All right, we've got a beautiful weekend ahead with dry weather, plenty of sunshine. It looks fantastic as the lower humidity will be around all weekend, making it great to head out and participate in any fall festivities or activities. Even going into the later part of next week, temperatures cool off into the lower 60s. The shore point staying a touch milder, but still we stay dry. And look at those overnights down in the 50s. Very, very pleasant weather. We've got another check of what's coming up as the New Jersey Morning Show continues. We've got the Jazz Festival, Dina?
We do. There's always something going on, right? The 13th annual TD James Moody Jazz Festival is coming to NJ PAC. Joining us now is David Rodriguez, Executive Vice President of the NJ PAC. Welcome to the show.
Great to be here. Good morning.
Well, the NJ PAC announced its lineup for the TD Moody's Jazz Festival. Who's performing on the PAC stage this year?
Gosh, who isn't performing? It's a great lineup. I think the great thing about the festival is that it really expands the definition of jazz. It's not necessarily your mom and dad's jazz festival. So even this weekend we have Michelle and Joe Cello, who most people know from John Hooker Mellencamp, Wild Nights, and that kind of thing, doing a tribute to James Baldwin. We have Brandy Younger, you see on the line right there. We have John Pizzarelli and Catherine Russell doing a tribute to Frank Sinatra, Madeline Perot, and then some really special things like our tribute to funk. So we have Bilal, Nona Hendrix, Savion Glover, George Clinton, Dr. Funkenstein, who was born in Newark, coming back and all doing kind of all those funk favorites. Also things like pop songs with big band. Christian McBride's big band has won, I think, 11 different Grammys. So we have Philip Bailey, the lead vocalist of Earth, Wind & Fire, Lisa Fisher from the Rolling Stones, and Diane Reeves performing with the big band. So it's the things that you normally wouldn't expect. And the cool thing is, the things we do here often tour to other places. So, for instance, next weekend on the 13th, a program that we premiered last year with Max Roach is premiering the jazz series at the Kennedy Center with Cassandra Wilson, Ravi Coltrane, Nasheed Watts, as well as poets like Sonia Sanchez. So there's really something for everyone. And about half the programs that we're doing are free to the public. So we're really encouraging people to come out and kind of expand their minds a little bit, including a little bit of jazz.
It sounds like there are a lot of fun acts in the lineup. Are there any particular shows that you are especially excited about?
Let me see. I think our Sarah Vaughan International Vocal Competition is really, really cool. We do it every year. It's the 11th year this year. 2 years ago, Samara Joy, who won Best New Artist in the Grammys, won. And we see where she is now. People like Jasmine Horn, Surreal and me have all kind of gotten that little bit of a push in their careers. Let's face it, their careers are first and foremost because they're incredibly talented people. But even more so, this is that next push where you have someone like a Madeline Perot or a Bill Charlap, Lisa Fisher, Terry Lee Carrington. Those are just some of the judges this year. They end up being on the Newport Jazz Festival, being on the stage of Lincoln Center, all of those types of things. It's a way to push a career to that next level. So that's a really exciting thing for me. The tribute to funk, as I mentioned. I mean, George Clinton is one of those just iconic figures. Two of the favorite things I've ever presented in my life were him and James Brown. And they are these, I asked James once what the definition of funk was, and he says, it's a groove so righteous you don't tap your foot, you break your leg. So, so to have those kind of discussions with people like George Clinton, who actually started an elementary school here at the Avon Avenue School District. When he was here last time, he went into the school, sang "Tear the Groove Off the Mother," and sang with the kids. Bought new musical instruments for the entire school. And before the show, he was sitting there saying, "Gosh, I'm really nervous because most of these people weren't alive when We Want the Funk came out." And he came out. They were all dressed as little funketeers because they heard it from their parents. It's part of their life. Excellence goes across generations, and you can see it in the artists, not just during the Jazz Festival, but all through the year at NJ PAC.
So tell us about the name of this festival. Why is it called the TD James Moody?
Well, James Moody was from Newark as well. James Moody is a historic saxophone player, wrote the wonderful tune Moody's Mood for Love. And he was one of those people that pushed other people along. He played with Dizzy Gillespie, a number of other folks, and he was one of those. I knew him, and he's one of those people who led with a hug instead of a handshake. Let's put it that way, and has influenced a lot of other musicians. And once again, he's a hometown hero here in New Jersey.
David, your passion for the music is evident. And as a native of Newark, what does it mean to you to personally be playing such an integral role in your own community?
I mean, I was born in Newark, so the idea of coming back and having what's now, I guess, the 5th largest art center in the country be here in my hometown is really important. There's a real history to Newark. There's a real history to New Jersey. It's not that hard to create a program based on artists from New Jersey. I mean, just this week, we're announcing a program with John Bon Jovi and Stephen Colbert. Every day there's a new place where where artists from Halsey to you name it, who say, "Gosh, I want to come back home," and we want to have a space that gives them the tools to do their work the way they can be shown with excellence. So we're really fortunate to have those artists come back here to Newark and back to ONNJ PAC.
Wow, it's exciting. Some cool future endeavors. So where can we learn more info and get tickets?
I would go to njpac.org, or you can call 888-MY-NJ-PAC. Either one works. There are a number of ways to get involved, either through our volunteer programs. The greatest thing about ONNJ PAC is really there's always a way to be part of it. Whether they're free concerts, whether there's volunteerism, whether partnering with a community organization that you're part of. We want to be part of your community. We're a not-for-profit. We want to make a difference.
And a staple in Newark. So David Rodriguez, Executive Vice President of ONNJ PAC, thank you so much for joining us on the New Jersey Morning Show.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for spreading the word, and have a great day.
You too.
Well, stay with us. There's more news, talk, and weather ahead.
Nothing has ever been handed to me. I've had to work for it. On the field. And off the field. Kane worked with me. Guided me. Helped me climb higher. To get where I belong. To change my life.
Hey, welcome to the team.
Cougars climb higher. Kane University.